Alright, so this video, I'm going to tell you the strategy to fight hard bosses in multiplayer. And so the base of this strategy is using the host to push the boss away so it can't hit you. Now this strategy only really works for bosses with a stop and go movement pattern. So what this means is the Ghost Arena boss and the hands, the strategy will not work on. However, the kings, queens, dooms, butterflies, and everything else that moves, stops moving, and then moves again, it will work for all of those. One thing to keep in mind is that all the T-Rexes have a slightly different movement pattern, however it should still work on them. The way this setup works is all four players are going to be in one sort of spot, and that's going to be the spot where you stay. And what you're going to do is you're going to wait for the boss to run into your group of players. As soon as it hits, the host is going to push it away. The key is to make sure the host is not the one in front. That way, instead of them getting hit, it's another player getting hit. With the way Pixel Survival 2 multiplayer works, is there's a syncing error for people who aren't the host, so that's why you'll sometimes see enemies teleporting around and you won't be able to push them. It's because the game can't render that as well as it can when the host does it. So this way, the host is not getting hit, since they're the only one that can push the boss around. So you wait for the boss to come in and it hits someone, and then the host pushes it away. Because there's a cooldown between the boss's attacks, this will allow the host to essentially never get hit if it's done right, which means, in theory, the host could be running a complete DPS set and not need any defense at all. Now, that's easier said than done because you are going to make mistakes, and it also depends on the defense of your other players. But this can be done even if all of you are under 151 defense. If the thing comes in and hits someone and they die, you still can push them away. As long as you have two more people, that's enough time for you to revive the person before the boss comes and wipes you all out. Which means as long as you're really good at it and play your distance right, you could beat the Doom or Butterfly without really any defense. That's extremely difficult though. Now, some tips with this strategy is if you're pretty close to a wall, if the boss jumps over you or you push it away, it'll hit the wall instead of going way far away, so it's further away, so that it stays in your attack range for longer. This way you can deal a lot more DPS when it jumps to one side of you. As most of the time, since the movement patterns are sort of random with the bosses, if it jumps all the way over you and goes way off to the side, it'll sit there for a second or two, which is time you could be dealing damage. So if you're next to a wall, this sort of negates that for one side of you and can let you kill the boss just that much quicker. But that's mostly all there is to it. As you'll see, or have seen, depending on where the gameplay is right now, at some point in this boss fight, one of the players ends up leaving, so it's me and then two other players, both of which are under 151 defense, and I believe one of which is under 100 defense. And using the same strategy, even with one less player, we're still totally able to handle the boss fine until the next player rejoins again. Now, the most, impressive time I've seen this strategy used, the two most impressive times I've seen the strategy used, is one between two Doom bosses, and it was me and one other person with two alts online, so they're only able to control, so basically two AFK players and two other players against two Dooms at once, and the strategy still worked. And a long time ago, there's a YouTube video posted of people killing the day one Modena with the strategy, which for those who don't know or don't remember, on release, the Modena boss did 145 damage, a hit, and was just significantly harder. And their group with nothing more than snowman gear and armoring sixes were able to beat it with this strategy. So this is, in my opinion, the best strategy you can use for beating hard bosses, no matter what stage of the game you're in. However, it's mostly going to be used for the Butterfly, Modena, and Doom, since those are much harder to tank through as compared to like your Queen 3s or your Kings or things like that. Alright, so now before I end the video, some things I want to say is thank you to Dangerous Gamer, Respect the Boss, and Mario for helping me film this video. And also, because finals week is coming up and the holidays are starting, I probably won't have another video out for a little while. However, the next video I do post is going to either be a tutorial for how to farm Vulcan in Nightmare Valley, or it's going to be sort of my story through Pixel Survival 2 and sort of like the history of the game, max defense, and my history throughout the game. If you're interested in any of those, let me know in the comments or subscribe. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you later.